Hello gentlemen, and welcome to another very accurate and factual history video. If you enjoy my content, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It's just $1 a month and it's gonna be lit. And without further ado, this is the Vietnam War, explained by a moron, which is me. So, the Vietnam War. Another war where the US throw dartboards on the map to decide which country to invade next. The dart this time hit the country of Vietnam. The Americans thought the war will be quick and easy, just like my sex life. And just like my sex life, it was very difficult and got no results. America thought they'd be fighting what was considered at the time as angry farmers with pitchforks and apples for grenades. Boy, they were wrong. You see, the Vietnamese had invested all of their skill points into sneak and critical hits. And since Americans were used to shooting up schools and not jungles, they were vastly outmatched by Vietnamese who mastered the art of bush and tree. The Vietnamese also laid traps and obstacle courses to make it more interesting for the Americans. And they lived underground, so you'd think they'd be blind like moles. But actually, they had good eyesight in the jungle and had actual guns instead of pitchforks that the intel previously suggested. So the Vietnamese used it to their advantage. You may also think, bah, I played plenty of Arma 3, and I can spot an enemy's knees using the reflection of a water droplet dropped from a sweating iguana. But the Americans were mostly conscripts and lots of younger boys fighting the war for Uncle Sam. So they were very inexperienced, and most died before they even had pubes on their face. Now, most people could not imagine how a technologically superior superpower like America could be losing a fight against some angry Ming Dynasty spearmen, so they protested the war. So Uncle Sam said, nah, those gosh darn idiots don't know anything, and still continued the war. Also, according to a 1987 documentary, Arnold Schwarzenegger also fought in the war, but they found some spooky alien creatures who shoved their shit in so bad that America had to withdraw from the war, because oppressing another people of color would be too much work. So America withdrew from the war, and the conflict has ended. Hooray! Everyone gets free champagne and free blowjobs. And from that day onward, America never attempted to attack another country in the east side of the world. So America invaded another country, but this time it was justified to topple some dictator named Adolf Stalin II, and the war lasted for like 50 years. After the war, Americans returned home with acute PTSD and major drinking problems. The war was quite spooky. As you see, you never really knew who's gonna explode next. It is quite terrifying that you're on edge so much that you couldn't even trust that Corky eating some expired cornflakes next to your base is not strapped with some explosives that Michael Bay couldn't even scoff at. So the Americans went in, shot up the place and said, good enough. So they installed a new government and left faster than your mom upon seeing some sailors outside the house. And around 20 minutes after America left Afghanistan, it was immediately overthrown by Taliban, and they were finally free of the Americans. Now, if you're looking for a great vacation in the Middle East, here's a Top Gear top tip. The Taliban stated that they won't assault tourists, so you can feel safe whenever you take a week off and enjoy the sandy views of Afghanistan from your 3-star homeless shelter they call a hotel.